Eric. Yuan is about to come up here. Eric, as I think most of you in the audience will know, is the CEO of Zoom. Hi, Eric. How are you? A highly popular web conferencing company that's growing so fast it attracted Sequoia Capital's attention and received a big fat check from Sequoia last year.
2016.
Oh, 2016, I'm sorry, excuse me. So, Eric, maybe we can just start at the beginning, if you don't mind. I was trying to prepare for this interview a little earlier today, and I'd seen this story, I think maybe it was on Medium, and it was about how you maybe first came to the U.S. As a college student, and you decided you wanted to live here, and it took you like 9 tries to get your visa?
Yeah, that's right. I got declined for 8 times. Last time I very lucky got a visa here, 1997.
So why did you want to come in the first place, and why did you keep trying?
Yeah, so, prior to 1997, was in China, Beijing. I was trying to run my small internet company. Back then, nobody heard about the internet. And here, Netscape, Yahoo, they were so popular. I really wanted to come here to take a look. And however, I just cannot get a visa. After 8 times tried, and also after I came here, I especially, there's a great weather here. I would say I'd like to settle down here because I joined WebEx. I really liked the company. I was number 10. I was one of the first cell phone engineers. That's why I gave up my startup over there and settled down here.
And how did you land at WebEx?
Oh, I happened to do one of the co-founders of WebEx because I was running my small company back then in Beijing, China. And when I came here, I cannot do anything except for going back to write code. So, and I wrote code for several years. And the co-founder of WebEx, he knew I can write code. So.
Okay. Yeah. So you're at WebEx, and you were there for how many years before it sold to Cisco?
14 years. By the way, the code I wrote in 1998 is still running there today. So it's very buggy though. So yeah.
So I was going to say, toward that end, I've seen you remark that you think it was. It was like a $3.2 billion deal?
Yeah, that's back to 2007.
But you think that was a mistake?
Looking back, because you look at it from a shareholder perspective, that was a pretty good deal. However, if you look at it from an employee perspective, right, from an end user, customer perspective, I do not think that's a good deal because that's one of the key reasons why I left. Because 3 or 4 years after we got acquired, every time when I talked with a WebEx customer, I felt very embarrassed because 14 years of hard work on that. I did not see a single happy customer. Every day I was not happy. My engineers they were not happy. It's every day they feel like, oh my God, what had happened? Why you spend so much time on something customer they do not feel happy? Mm-hmm. I feel like more like a torture. So.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But it is a really important point because I think it's not a secret that M&A doesn't work out oftentimes, or things sort of go to die inside a bigger company. What did you think was going to happen, or what could Cisco maybe done better? I mean, they sort of what was promised to you and what didn't happen.
So, don't get me wrong, Cisco is a great company.
Right?
It's a great company, but however, when it comes to collaboration, specifically like WebEx, right? We started WebEx in 1997, and the architectures did the collaboration. Do not embrace video that much, and the architecture is not right. And you got to build the next generation of a collaboration solution. At Cisco, it's really hard to rewrite something because they don't want you to cannibalize your existing service. In particular, they can sell a lot back then. So, however, I know in next several years, customers they will have a huge problem. And I tried to build the next generation. Within a big company, it's really hard. Yeah. Probably for any big company, they don't want you to do that.
So you decide, I can't take it anymore, I'm going to do this better. Did you take a lot of people from did your colleagues sort of
I did not take them.
Okay.
However, the 1 month I've left, top 45 engineers, they followed me. They quit, they joined me.
45 engineers? Wow, that's remarkable. Okay. So it's amazing to me what you've accomplished, particularly given that you're in a space with GChat and Skype and 20 other competitors. How do you keep them from chipping away at your market share?
That's a great question. It's extremely hard because, before I started a company, even, many of my friends told me that. You cannot do that. It's so crowded. They have no chance. And, I know, the customer, they are not happy. I know as long as I can build something to make a customer happy, I truly believe we have a chance. Because of that, those engineers also, they trust what I said. They also have the same, the philosophy, and that's why we were working very hard for the first several years. And I give, the first paid customer, Stanford Continuing Studies Group, they tested everything out there. Even if our product was still in the beta, but they told us the quality is better than any other solution out there. That's why, after that, as we started growing our business, since then.
Tell me a little bit about your metrics, just to give us a sense of how ubiquitous.
We track the daily meeting participants as well as the meeting minutes. So based on the daily meeting minutes, we already reached over 30 billion annualized meeting minutes. So every day we have several millions users who are using our service. So I think every week is a track record. If you go to the alexia.com website, it'll track the popularity of each collaboration website. We are ahead of any others, like WebEx, GoToMeeting, like even Skype, Google Hangout, you name it. Any other website, we are ahead of any of them.
I was wondering how you think about market share, just because I think web conferencing, and maybe some of you would agree or disagree, is such a sort of individual thing. Like at Techcrunch, we sort of start the meeting based on who, or we use the service depending on who is sort of initiating the meeting. Everybody sort of has their favorite service. So, I mean, when you think about market share, how do you sort of?
It's just, we are not focusing on the web conferencing anymore, right? Okay. So when it comes to conferencing industry, the first generation is teleconferencing. The second generation is web conferencing dominated by WebEx or GoToMeeting. The new generation is a video conferencing, meaning the user experience, architecture, everything centers around the video. I think we are in that space. So all the customers who already deployed the web conferencing, they are going to migrate to video conferencing.
Okay.
So that's why we are ahead of any others, because any other companies who already deployed those teleconferencing or web conferencing, they needed to turn on the video, and those solutions all of there cannot satisfy customer need. They have to migrate to solution like Zoom.
Okay. I hope you don't mind my asking this, but also in preparing to interview today, I realized that Amazon had launched a service last year that I've never heard of before called Chime out of AWS.
Nobody's using that.
Nobody's using it. I just wonder, I'm assuming that you've checked it out.
Yeah, I did. I have some friends, they work at Amazon, for sure, Amazon, they force every employee use that solution. I did ask them, hey, what's your experience look like? They mentioned, we do not like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to spend resources? Does it concern you since they get into everybody's
I do not think. I admire Amazon a lot. Probably is one of the best company in the world. But look at Amazon customers, either consumers or third-party API developers. Right? I do not think they know how to build a service to deliver happiness to not the workers or enterprise customers. I do not think they have that DNA. That's why we never worry about Amazon. We never they talk about the video conferencing. I would say it's just
non-starter.
Yeah.
Okay. What percentage of your users are free versus?
We still have a lot of free users because we have a freemium product. By the way, we give most of the features for free.
Okay.
For one-to-one, you never need to pay, right? Only for the group video conferencing, we give it all the features for free. But however, we limited the meeting duration to 40 minutes, right? Because we know the most effective meeting is 45 minutes. So, and I think around 75%.
Okay.
Yeah, in that range.
Free.
Yeah, free. Yeah.
Okay. I guess so. When you look at the landscape, are you competing? Do you think you're competing more on price or value-added services?
Our price for sure is better. Yeah. I think overall the customer like our experience. So meaning the product experience, every interaction between the customer prospect with our sales team, with our support team, with our customer success manager, we compete against any other competitors in terms of the product and company user experience. So that's why the culture is really important. We want to make sure all of our employees every day they are very happy. Anytime when they interact with the customers, and the customer can feel that. It's wow, it's very different. Zoom, they do not want to just sell something to us. They really care about us because our company, the value is very simple, just to care, right? Not like other very big companies, so many things. Because every employee understand we got to care about our customers.
How many employees do you have?
We have around the 1,100.
1,100, wow.
Yeah.
So I'd also read that you early on would write to people who unsubscribed from Zoom and try to talk them into it via email, and that in one case somebody was like, "You're not, I don't believe you are who you say you are, I think you're some."
Yeah, that's right. So in early stage, really want to get some feedback because we do not have a product manager, we do not have a QA, we only have engineers, right? How to get a feedback from customers is very important. And back then, our monthly subscription price only $9.99, per month per host. For every time when we received a customer cancellation email, I personally reply back, try to ask why is that. Can we schedule a meeting? I want to learn more. It's very busy. Quite often, those those users who cancel the service reply back, "This is an automated email. I do not think this is CEO sending me email," and it's very often. So. Yeah.
Well, you're clearly somebody who's a very passionate founder, and I think it's remarkable that you're sort of a solo founder as well. I just wondered, at what point, you've got 1,100 employees, at what point did you stop interviewing them yourself? Because, again, founders here maybe can use that sort of...
I think from the very beginning, I do not think I interviewed everyone.
You did not interview everyone?
Yeah, because, our philosophy is, because we have a core team already, and our hiring philosophy is to focus on the internal referrals. Because I trust you, for sure, your friend also trust, right? Even today, 65% of the newly hired employees are from internal referrals. And also, we also only focus on the self-motivation, self-learning employees. I told every hiring manager, focus on those two things, self-motivation, self-learning. As long as they have those two things, everything else is easy.
Okay.
They can learn, I think, yeah.
And maybe what positions were sort of most crucial early on to fill? And did you make any mistakes there where you sort of hired, somebody that you should have waited to hire?
So far it's good because our hiring philosophy, we focus on the self-learning, self-motivation. We also hire for the potential. We never wanted to hire anyone from bigger company, VP level. No, we only hire probably the senior manager or director level. They can grow themselves along with the company growth. And I think because we follow that philosophy, that's why I think so far, so good.
And also just for people who aren't super familiar with all of Zoom's offerings, what are some of the things today that you're maybe most proud of? And also if you can tell us, maybe give us like a curtain raiser about what Zoom's going to look like a year from now.
I think sometimes, when I travel, right, so I wear a Zoom T-shirt, and some, just the, strangers, right, just look at my Zoom T-shirt, stop by, shake my hands, give me a hug. Hey, I really like Zoom. I feel very proud of that. And also sometimes also our employees, the parents also send the email as well. Hey, thank you for building a great culture. And my son, my daughter's pretty happy. I think those kind of things, I just feel very proud of that. Feel like all the hard work, very well paid off.
That's wonderful. And then in terms of the features that people might not appreciate or be aware of, I know that you sort of incorporate AI to track what happens in a meeting to make it easier to sort of parse afterward. What are some of the sort of newer things that Zoom's rolled out?
So one thing we did not do well because we have so many features customers they may not know, like a touch up your appearance, right? It is a cool feature.
Oh, touch up your appearance? Really?
Yes,
and
a lot of people they found that say, wow, this is great. I have virtual background feature as well. And after the recorded meeting, we automatically generated the meeting transcription. A lot of features built in. I think as long as customers they found those features, they really like it. However, we did not do a good job. We did not tell customers so many cool features.
How do you prioritize? I mean, there's so many things that you could do. How do you sort of figure out what to tackle, and what's your pacing? So that you don't overwhelm customers.
It's very hard actually. Early stage very easy. You start from SMB customers. Just to focus on that. For now, you have so many very big, large enterprise customers. And priority is very important. However, we look at it from to deliver happiness to the existing customers is more important than pursuing the new customers. Our philosophy always focus on the existing customers. Any features from existing customers way more important than getting the new prospect, new customer. So that's our philosophy.
And how do you inform them of those?
It's because we have educate our product manager, all the engineers, support team sales as well. Don't make a commitment to the new prospect, right?
Okay.
Spend the time, focus on the existing customer, and a feature request always have higher priority than the features requested by the new prospect.
So this company was founded in 2012. Is that correct?
2011.
2011, okay. I'm close on a lot of things.
Yeah.
This is a fairly gigantic company. You've raised a lot of money for it. What's sort of a mistake that you've made that you think people in the audience could potentially avoid?
I think the mistake I made is sometimes too conservative. You got to be aggressive a little bit, meaning early stage, and quite a few VCs, they reach out to us, they wanted to give us money. We say, no, we're not ready. I think looking back, probably should be a little bit more aggressive. And, that's a lesson learned. Because, there's so many VCs out there. You also do not know who is better, and also it's another tricky part.
So I know that you're very happy with your investor, Sequoia Capital, and specifically your board member, Carl Essenbach. Maybe, is there something that you can point to that he's sort of steered you in a direction that you maybe didn't think about?
Yeah, so not only Sequoia Capital, but also Emergency Capital as well. Okay. I think they were the leading investor for the C round, Series C round. I think, first of all, when it comes to, raising a round, new financing, I think the VC background plus the partners there are really important, like a Carl or Pat from Sequoia or Santi from Emergency Capital. Regardless of investment, I know I can make a friend, lifetime friend forever with them. That's why I enjoy working together with them. Also, really care about us. Quite often, some have a PR, maybe the customer have a senior executive try to recruit. Not only from those partners, but also the whole firm. They are helping us. It's extremely a great experience.
How has it changed your thinking about the future? I mean, obviously, it's a lot of money. It's great. You're growing faster, but there's much more pressure than there.
I think it's great from an employee perspective. Right? They have more confidence, and plus, especially talking with the big customers, they try to, because we are still a private company, they want to understand who's your investor, make sure you do not run out of money. If those big VCs behind you, for sure, especially for enterprise customer, they feel very comfortable.
Can I ask, were you profitable at any point? And are you profitable
we are cash flow positive.
You're cash flow positive, okay.
That's the most important thing, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I've read that people are using Zoom for a number of things. Doctors are using it to diagnose patients. Educators are using it. What's sort of one of the most surprising use cases that's maybe, delighted you and maybe talked to your employees
I think every day with so many experience, right? Just last week, one of our employees, his mom, and in the hospital is a very bad situation. And unfortunately, his father also in the hospital.
Oh, gosh.
And, especially his mom, probably in the last several weeks. And, his father in a different hospital. They were using Zoom to talk to each other. And they shared the story. I think, wow, if we can build something to make sure, deliver the happiness to those people, we feel it's great. Every day we have so many, use cases or experience like that.
That's terrific. Well, Eric, thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to sit down with you today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.